Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. We're going to take our release day look at Spider-Man Collector Box sales data off of TCG Player through the whole pre-release period and out to release day and including release day. It sold 3,971 collector boxes on the platform at a total of $2,697,000 for an average price per box of $680. Now, much better than the 530s that it has fallen down to in the last couple of days, and you see that trend on the 7-day moving average plot. And of course, the only things that we could possibly compare this to are Final Fantasy and the original Lord of the Rings collector box from summer of 2023. And when we put those on the plot, of course, we see the red line of Final Fantasy way up here, the best selling product in all of Magic's near 33-year history. And then basically tied are Final Fantasy and Lord of the Rings. So I'm going to replot this, taking off Final Fantasy just to make a point here. And that is Lord of the Rings out to and including its release day had sold $2,583,000 compared to Spider-Man's $2,697,000 for collector boxes. So Spider-Man outsold Lord of the Rings by about $110,000, so about a 4% greater amount. Only in 2025, only in this crazy era of universes beyond and standard of everything else that is happening in the Magic markets and everything else, could people possibly claim that Spider-Man is failure? That these collector box numbers are terrible and that this is a bad product and man, the market has gone awful. Only now could people say that something that actually beat what was, for a good while, the best selling product in Magic's history, that being the Lord of the Rings collector box, only now could something come along, beat that, and people call it a failure. It's unbelievable that we can look at the data and still hear people shouting about how bad this product is, how no one wants it, how it's awful. And it really strikes to something that I talk about a lot on this channel. It's that the short term noise does not matter. And the doomer Timmies will always say everything is horrible and that the market is melting down and that this is the end. The depression is coming. This is a terrible set. The pools are too hard. The art is awful. The mechanics are boring. The limited environment sucks. Everything else, every single expansion for Magic, Pokemon, ever, and every product within the expansions, you will hear the harpies on Reddit, people online, the permadoomers, always talking about how bad everything is. And yet, here we are. This product is now the second best selling product in all of Magic history, trailing only two releases earlier, the Final Fantasy collector boxes. And so keep that in mind when all you see is the negativity, because negativity gets clicks. Being a contrarian gets clicks. Claiming you're an expert when you're consistently wrong over and over, that gets clicks. And yet, here are the data. Here are the data showing us that this is the second best selling product ever. So, I look out at this and I see $530 for a box today compared to my current average basis price in this is about 620, 610, 620, something like that. I look at 530 for the boxes and I think, man, that is way, way too cheap considering that so many have sold already and that this is the second best selling product in all of Magic's history. So, the doomers will continue to screech nonstop. The Chicken Littles will tell us the sky is falling forever, but permadoomers are always wrong. On the long timeline, most markets, most assets trend upwards in price, and the doomers are always wrong and always will be. So these are the data, guys. I'll take another look at this at 30 days post release and 60 days post release just to follow up and see what is happening. That's how I always do collector boxes. I cut them off at 60 days because by then, most of the interesting action has happened, and collector boxes do not get reprints. So there are no additional reprint waves that come in and change the market considerably later on. Let me know what you think, guys, but the data are the data, as I always say. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.